It tastes like as if you put asparagus in a pot of boiling water and just like let it boil for like 6 hours.
We're
and then you drink in the water.
That sounds amazing.
I'll tell you what,
real.
after all this camera equipment we bought and stuff, we're living lean. It's been noodles and breakfast.
If you're worried about us guys, subscribe to one of our programs, hit us up, help us out and get more of this fucking shit tea.
Oh, but by the way, seriously, if you're watching this or if you're listening to this, by the way, are these up on YouTube yet?
Not yet.
Okay, cool.
They will be.
Well, why is it lagging? Is it meant to be lagging?
It's
like,
not
or
lagging.
Is it just?
It's just,
cool.
Just keep going.
Fuck. I was going to like do a little cool promo thing by saying, like,
YouTube.
I know if you're watching this,
Yeah,
you're
you
listening
fucked
to
it.
this, like, please, like, rate us, subscribe it, like, let us know if you like it or not. And when it is on YouTube,
So don't,
what can you do on
don't look at
YouTube?
the
You gotta-
camera. You can't, you're not talking to the camera, bro.
Usually
I'm actually looking at myself because I'm a fucking
I think-
narcissist.
But Louis has to do that where you're like, see that little button there? Please subscribe.
I
and,
like when I go
and hit your
bing, and then it like comes up.
and hit your notification so that you get the new episodes on the weekly basis.
I think I could do that.
Yeah,
Huh?
okay, cool.
I don't actually know.
Do you
Maybe
think
not.
people actually want to listen to us and watch us?
Well, people do.
I think because
They listen to our podcast.
I've been doing more and more. Like
You
I'll have a Joe Rogan podcast of some sort, and I just want to see their faces.
Yeah,
I
okay.
don't know why.
Why? Is it so you know how to position yourself or act when you're on camera? Or like, I don't know.
Yeah, but I don't know. Potentially,
No.
it's kind of weird. You just like to be part of the conversation. You feel like you're there with them, but you're not.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
Actually, what I like to see when I do watch like people on podcasts is just like mannerisms. I like to see mannerisms and what people do, how they talk, and do you know what I mean?
You're very much about hand motions, aren't you?
Yeah. Does it focus on my hand every time I move them?
Yeah,
Nah,
I'm
autofocus is off.
Oh, it knows. It's like this guy again.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I don't mind this asparagus juice, man. It's good.
It's called yerba mate tea,
Does it
man.
increase test?
Nah,
Ah,
not at all.
why drink it?
It's
Why
the antioxidants.
Why do you
Honestly,
increase test?
bro,
What for?
to get
growth.
bigger. Did you see what happened when Ronnie Coleman increased his test?
Well, honestly, the reason I've been doing this is I want a coffee, right? Something caffeinated. This has caffeine, but half the amount of coffee, and it kind of just smooths it out as opposed to having caffeine and then messing up my sleep. Because I've been overdoing it with coffee, like 2, 3, Louis level 4, 5.
Bro,
3
I have
coffees
3
a
a day.
It's party diet.
It's my diet. 3 milky coffees a day. That's all I'm on.
Milky coffee.
When's the
Legit, wait, the
latest
plan
one?
says milky coffees, bro.
When's the latest one?
The latest one, what? Coffee.
Yeah.
I would have one. I had a nap till 2:30, so 2:35.
Fuck. You know what I made a huge mistake in lately? Is I was drinking almond milk for a while, and then I switched
Yeah, it's
to
a
oat.
mistake,
I
bro.
switched to oat milk, thinking
Oat
it's
milk.
Oat milk.
Oat.
Oat. Like oat. What do you think I
Oat.
said? Oat
Oak.
milk.
I was
Yeah,
like,
oat
what?
milk.
From a gum tree?
Yeah,
When
oat
the-
milk. You just send
Since the trees make milk.
Just look at our website.
What do you mean, bro? Maple syrup comes from a tree.
But
It's tree
the
milk.
reason, right? Anyways, almond milk's got fuck all calories, right? And I thought the oat
Wait,
milk. Oat
it's a
milk.
maple leaf, you fucking idiot. Yeah, go on.
You're an idiot. It comes from the tree.
But it comes off from maple leaf.
No, maple syrup is tapped from a maple tree. They screw a tap into the tree, bro, and turn it on. I'm not even fucking kidding you.
You're joking.
Dead set. Swear
Okay.
to God.
I have to go.
Look this up. Look it
I'll
up,
check.
bro.
Yeah,
You
fact
do.
check.
Yeah, yeah.
Look up
keep my story.
tapping a maple tree.
Oh my god.
What was I talking about?
Actually, don't type tapping a maple tree. Something fucking weird will come up.
What was I talking about?
Milk?
Oh yes. I thought almond milk's pretty low in calories, and I thought oat milk the same. Turns out what I thought was 500 calories in my smoothie is actually 1,000.
Is that why you waited in on the weekend to be heavier?
Yeah, look, I was lucky. I was still lucky that there was a lot more bigger boys in the week. Oh, we're going to talk about that
Yeah,
competition.
we should actually talk about the
Did
weekend. But
The
Yeah, legit. Sorry, they actually do fucking screw a tap in it, mate. That's fucking wild. I
is
never
it
knew
just
that.
dripping,
I told you.
or is
I
it like
thought- well, I actually don't
is it
know.
struggling?
well, you thought they fucking squished the lever up and it turned into juice.
like these ones. You know what I mean?
There's just a conga line of like 1,000 people. Just
machines for that stuff?
What nationality would they be? They're in Canada. If there was a Congo line of people doing these ones to get fucking
I think
maple
this
syrup
could
out
be
of cake.
racist, so let's not
Yeah,
answer
that's
that question.
I don't know.
Okay, no.
It's the
Just,
go on
moose.
then. It's the moose.
Okay, cool.
Moose? How do you
What-
say multiple moose? Meese?
Meese. Mooses.
If you know, let us know.
But yeah, competition. It
Yeah.
was Lift Fest
Lift Fest
2022. It was the first
2022.
ever.
Yeah,
Look, hats off to them. They did
that was a cool event, man.
CrossFit, powerlifting, weightlifting, strongman, all in the same location and within different times, same times. However they did it, hats off to them. It was run pretty well.
Yeah, It was good. There was like obviously some timing stuff, but that's always going to happen. But it was just cool to finally, like, not to finally, but to see like multiple different strength sports, I guess, in the same place, and being able to see what each sport sort of does and what they're about, and get around and support everyone instead of this fucking constant like, oh, my sport's better than yours type stuff that comes up a fair bit in like the strength community, I reckon.
100%. Everyone was encouraging. It was cool to see. I've never really seen a powerlifting comp live, so to speak.
Yeah, I mean, like I think for weightlifting, for powerlifting, and for strongman, I think the environment, maybe not for strongman, but for weightlifting, powerlifting, the environment you probably saw then was, you could probably attest to it being at a weightlifting competition. I've never been to a weightlifting competition. I've just heard it's like this.
Yeah, it's very quiet.
Golf claps.
Yeah,
it's very quiet.
Yeah, but
Dead
it's
silence.
not. Well, for a powerlifting meet, it's typically a little bit more uproaring.
Yeah. Is that
quite similar to the CrossFit actually? So
is powerlifting run the same way, as in everyone does their first attempts, everyone does their second attempts,
yep.
everyone does their third attempts?
Oh, it's gone.
Get fucked.
30. Switching cameras? Turn
Anyway.
turned
Oh,
off?
nah, we're good. I
What
clicked the wrong button.
Oh, so
Guys, I don't know what I'm doing still, so I'm actually trying to control this from my
Yep.
phone, which is in my lap. So
If you
right
guys,
there.
if you guys know anyone, right, looking
Yeah.
to potentially, do some content stuff, hit us up.
yeah, we need like a DJ behind the booth here that can like click buttons when people start talking.
Tips and tricks.
No, but
whatever.
seriously, like if we had someone who isn't here in Wagga Wagga, could they potentially do this for us?
Who isn't here?
Yeah, like could they do like just be online?
No.
They've got to be here.
It would be a lot easier if they're
Yeah,
here.
okay.
Because
cool.
apparently the content is like gigs and gigs of it.
Yeah, all right, cool.
Turns out.
Okay, fair enough. I'm not going to go.
Like you could do it online, but it's just a nightmare because you have to upload everything we take,
Yeah.
like all the footage, and we know 4K footage is very big files. So like uploading 100 plus gig of footage onto a cloud, it takes ages. And
But
then
again-
downloading it and then editing it and re-uploading it, it's just a pain in the ass
But again,
process.
there could be people out there that might know things that we don't know.
Yeah, that's
So if
true.
you can,
Yeah, seriously, there could be someone listening to what you're saying
Seriously.
going, what's this going on
Yeah.
about?
just
I can do that.
DM us,
Bro, I
please.
know what's
anyone.
up. I'm telling you.
Louis
Yeah,
does
okay,
know
yeah.
what's up.
Nah,
Um,
I don't.
Back
I've
to
only
the
just
original
figured this
question,
out.
something about powerlifting. You asked me something.
Yeah, because traditionally weightlifting isn't done the way it was done, in the sense that everyone does their first attempt
Yeah.
and then everyone does their second attempt, but you go through the whole line essentially, right? Is that how it works?
Yeah, so in powerlifting it's called flights. And
Yeah.
so and so there might be several flights. So say you got a powerlifting competition, there's 60 competitors. Well, that 60 might be broken up into three flights of 20. And so if you're in flight 3, guess what? You're waiting an hour.
What are
like,
they- what are they calling
That's
flights?
interesting.
I don't know.
Well, it's definitely gave me a twist, right? Because weightlifting followed the same thing for that competition. Usually it doesn't work like that. It basically works off like you have a range for your 3 lifts. Like they could be from your first lift to your last lift. It could be a discrepancy of say 10 to 15 kilos.
Right.
And depending where you go in. Obviously, you're not going to be an idiot and say, for example, right, if you know your max is 110, if you go 108, 109, 110, you're going to be going one after the other. And you only got 2
And
minutes rest.
110 would be a world record.
100%. In what?
Bro, you said 1010.
It'd be 1,010
Thanks,
kilos, man.
Yeah, 110.
Ton of
You know,
your head. Yeah,
it's
yeah,
expression.
yeah.
Um,
You're an asshole, by the way.
What?
But,
Fuck
yeah,
off.
but
You
what-
fucking
what
pull me up for it straight away.
Wait a second.
Process.
I think nice. I think if you swear on YouTube, the algorithm doesn't like it.
We can bleep it out.
We're going to bleep everything.
Oh, that's
out.
going to be a nightmare. But yeah, we can try that.
we
Nah.
swear a lot.
The more you say it, the more it fucks me around.
But, all right, back to the serious question, right? It actually threw me off because usually I like being I get fairly warm. I won't ever hit exactly what I'm going to hit on that first lift. It's probably like 5% less. But I'm warm and I'm basically hitting lift after lift, right? Because there's very little break in between. There might be 1 or 2 lifters between my lifts. Whereas that threw me off because I was amped up, hit my first lift, and then I had like 10, 15 minutes till I hit my second lift. I almost cooled down. I had to go back, reload the bar, start warming up again. It threw me off totally.
Yeah, right.
Because usually
okay.
psyched for that period of 10, 15 minutes. Whereas here, I was psyched, then waited, psyched, then waited. And it kind of threw me off a little bit. I had to
Right,
really,
okay.
it was weird.
So they ran it like a powerlifting sort of.
They
kind
ran
of-
it
kind
the
of
same way as
made,
powerlifting.
Interesting.
How do you
Yeah.
find that though? Because it could be a while
hard.
between hitting your second and third attempt.
Yeah.
And-
Depending how big your flight is, you could be waiting like 15, 20 minutes again between attempts. Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, say someone's got a fucking 350 kilo squat, it's like they want 15, 20 minutes between their attempts, you know what I mean? But someone's like squatting 200 kilos, like 15 minutes between like, Although we're talking like, anyone that's kind of squatting closer to their 1RM is still going to require a longer duration of time, but still like 200 kilos v 350 kilos is a big difference, right? So like typically the stronger you are, the happier, the more glad you are probably to have a longer rest time between your attempts.
So when you hit say for example yourself, right, you hit your first attempt and then you're waiting.
Sorry, he just gazed so deeply into me right then. I could see it in my peripheral.
Bro, into my eyes. Don't say into me. Just say
you were looking into me and like
your
up
eyes,
and down.
bro. Not
I
into
saw
you.
your eyes go from here down to my hips back up. Anyway,
It's like your hair's on point. So you hit your first lift, right?
Yeah.
And then you've got 10, 15 minutes to your second lift.
It really depends how
I know
many,
it depends,
how many
right?
people in your
But
fight,
are you still hitting relatively heavy for that second, like in your warm-ups, or you've done warming up? That's what I'm curious about.
Yeah,
Like,
no,
are you
you're
keeping
done
yourself
warming.
potentiated?
No.
Nah?
No.
Oh, bro, that's hard, man.
Yeah, I know. Some people can. Some people do. Some people don't. Right. And so, again, it depends. It depends where you sit on that spectrum of strength. Do you know what I mean? Like the stronger you are, you don't need to potentiate. Like your first attempt is fucking potentiating as shit. Do you know what I mean?
I'd hate that, man. Once I'm cold, I'm like, it takes me a while to warm up.
Yeah.
Does CrossFit agree?
Yeah. Oh, when it comes to lifting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fucking oath. If
'Cause
I cool down, I'm fucked.
Yeah, that's why I was like curious if there's a bigger break because it threw me off a little bit. I literally had to go back and not hit exactly what I was going to hit for the third or second attempt, but close to it, just so I felt warm.
Really?
Yeah, I had to because I felt cold and I was like, oh no, as I'm getting my second attempt, and then I
think
was
like the margin for error though for like weightlifting is probably
Yeah.
slightly larger potentially. Like I don't want
Slightly.
a fair bit larger.
I was going to
than
say
power.
like infinitely larger.
Well, yeah.
Snatch is
I was
the-
only saying that because like I wasn't sure you'd be like, powerlifting.
Me?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. It's all
Yeah,
technical
it's-
to a
it
degree,
is, it
but
is. Yeah, but the snatch is
you can't just grind a snatch.
Nah.
Nah.
A clean and jerk, you can
Well,
rely on
some
your
people
strength.
can.
Yeah, a clean and jerk you can rely on your strength, but a snatch is very much if you're
Yeah.
missing slightly off, you're off.
Yeah.
Like,
And what goes first? The snatch goes first.
yeah, snatch is
Yeah,
always
yeah,
first,
fair
and the clean and jerk.
Yeah, interesting. Cool.
Mm.
I like
And
it.
usually I have a decent time between the snatch and clean and
Yeah.
jerk. It's usually when I have one of my baby food.
I don't know how you eat like the chicken ones,
Man,
bro.
it's actually not bad. And the thing is, it's like a constant flow of energy. I think I've
Yeah.
never say mastered. I did well that day because usually what happens for me is I eat so much, then I have to find somewhere to nap.
Well, it's because you didn't have to cut.
Yeah, I did cut a little bit. I
you?
did a mini cut. No,
Oh, sick.
I only had half pizza.
Wait, so you're telling me before you go to competition, you go to Coles or Woolworths or whatever, and you go to the baby aisle
100%.
and you buy
Yeah.
baby food in sachets like squid. Did you just look at the camera? You just look
Yeah,
at the
because I
camera?
thought the thing's turned off.
No
man.
one's
It's
looking
creeping
at
me
you.
out. Crap.
This is going to take getting used to.
Yeah, no, I
So what
do.
flavors do you like?
So I usually get 2 of the like meal ones. So it's usually
Flavors. Give me flavor. Like run me
flavors.
down the fucking menu here, man.
chicken, spaghetti.
Don't know how you did, bro. And it's,
What does it
is it
taste
cold?
like?
Tastes, you know what? Yeah.
Man, it would just remind me of Rat Packs. I
No,
could not
just
do it.
it's probably better than Rat Pack. Man,
sure it
babies,
is.
Babies eat this stuff. Surely it's gonna be good
Yeah,
for
babies aren't very picky, bro.
you. That's exactly why do we need to. But anyways, I'll have. So as soon as I do my weighing,
Because
I'll-
we're allowed to.
Yeah, I know.
What the fuck, man?
Babies have no choice. Fuck you.
But also, I'm picky because I fucking want to.
Yeah, I
I'm
know.
not gonna lie.
Well, anyways, I'll have one of those ones.
Yeah.
Right. That's straight after I weigh in.
Wow.
And then as I'm about to warm up, I'll then have one of the nice ones, like a custard. I think I had it was like
great.
an oat custard chocolate.
I'll
one.
just
It
be
was
eating
beautiful.
those ones the whole time.
But that's the problem, right? If you get that, I've done that. I literally
Fuck the chicken
I bet
off. I'm
you've
eating
done-
custard,
I
bro.
have done that, but the problem with that one is like you get such a high
Yeah, okay.
and then you get such a crash too.
Like
so I
because
need
of the sugar. Or
100% because it's high in sugar, right? And so then once I've done that, I'll then have another meal, and usually then I'll have one of the chicken, rice, broccoli ones. They taste the same. I can't tell the difference.
Yeah, fuck.
I know, but I got used to it, and for me, my tummy. Baby.
You can say tummy, bro. I don't have to bleep that out. It's all right.
My-
You're becoming a baby. No,
No, my tummy feels fine, man, throughout it. I can't say it. My stomach feels
Yeah.
fine. And then just hydrate. And that seems to work for me now. That's like
Yeah.
the second time I've done it, and I feel like I'm not going to change it.
I literally spent the entire day looking at what Louis was doing because I was very intrigued as to how he's preparing and whatever. His guy ate nothing. I don't understand.
Bro, I ate heat. Nah, I didn't. Honestly, that's not normal. I just felt like shit.
Yeah, okay.
You had a
Like,
massive
I
breakfast
don't
day.
know what happened, but I felt
Big breakfast?
I felt horrible the whole day.
What about the breakfast?
Yeah, I just had toasted cheese sandwiches, toast ham cheese sandwich, a coffee.
He keeps that
milky
constant.
coffee?
Yeah, milky
Milky,
coffee, bro.
yeah.
But I pooped before, so I didn't shit myself out.
It's always
on the
good, eh?
floor.
Before a comp, once you've
Bro.
done, you feel clean and like ready to go.
Like
Ready
a
to go.
poop.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, actually, yeah. I'm not gonna go too much detail, but I did not feel good. Like eating was crap. Like my mouth was dry, my legs were cramping. I didn't know what was going on. It was something weird.
Yeah.
But on that first CrossFit comp, what did you think?
Oh yeah, I was dirty. I was so dirty because I was like, we've got this dude who's about to squat 320 kilos, and no one's looking at him. I'm like, you weirdos are looking at this guy wearing a headband over there, like snatching 60 kilos. Like this guy's about to squat 330 kilos. Look at him, like
Big boy. Dude, man.
yeah. But no, honestly, I was really impressed. It was really cool, actually.
They're very inviting. Like, again, I haven't been in CrossFit comps for a while, but for example, I had one of the competitors come after to me, and I love the wordage. Oh, you've got such a pretty snatch. And I was
Clearly not used to seeing that very often.
And I was like,
CrossFitters.
it was kind of weird because when you go to weightlifting, no one compliments. Everyone like lifts okay, but even if you did, no one compliments you. It's just like,
Yeah.
you hit your lift 6 out of 6, 3 out, whatever.
The community's just like,
It is. It's
Good.
very much true. That's what like community aspect. But I was going to say both me and you competed. You had a different role.
Yeah, it was shit. And like it was a good role, but it was shit because
you stop swearing, bro. I got to bleep that out.
Yeah.
I don't know how to do that yet.
Stop looking at the camera.
You're gonna have to put an audio over. No, it was a good role to be in. It was a hard role. Fuck you both if you think otherwise. Sorry about that.
It's hard, man.
But what I mean by shit, it was that
Stop it.
I had to watch everyone else compete, and I was like, and I just kind of was like twiddling my thumbs, going, "Fuck."
Bro, you could have thrown down.
I could have, but my quads are sore.
Yeah, fair.
No.
No,
I have a
sometimes-
competition. Like, I'm preparing for it.
Yeah,
sometimes,
I'm
you got to.
That's fair.
deviate.
Yeah.
Oh, great, man. Stick to
But
the
yeah,
plan.
like my finger absolutely got a six pack. See?
Oh yeah, from the
As a result of like 860
yeah.
photos.
The other hand work in the focus ring didn't get much of a workout.
How many photos
You're pretty good at that.
That
mate.
was an interesting
By the way, there was 3 of us taking photos, and which was one of them.
Out of 800 photos, how many photos did we actually get?
I'm gonna
I think
say
it was about 500.
350 decent ones.
Get off.
I mean, now I've got a bit more respect to the cameramen when they've like all camera wound. Sorry,
Dude.
as they're doing it, man, taking those good
Yeah,
shots.
it was intense for me because, because obviously, like everything was happening at one time, and it was at one point, right? At one point, the guy and girl that I was managing for powerlifting, they were on their bench, and I think you were doing a workout, and you were doing your attempts at snatch. I was like, oh my god,
It's the most cardio you've done in a while.
it was
bro.
intense. Man. I got blisters on my feet and everything, and I was like, trying to set attempts for those on the powerlifting, trying to take photos and then prep them, let them sniff their salts. I'm like, oh my god, Aiden's on the platform. Fuck, get down this angle, take a photo. I'm like, oh my god, Louis over there. It was intense. It was good fun though.
What does it feel like as a coach, right? Because you don't really have any kind of control over their lift, right? You can give them the advice, and they could miss. Like, what do you feel? Do you feel any kind of anxious or anything like that?
Yeah, but also no. Well, I mean, like one of them that was there, like hasn't really been with him very long, and we acknowledge the fact that as a result of that, we're probably not going to expect some sort of big PBs, right?
The ultimate beast, yeah.
So that particular that particular what's it called competition was there simply as an exposure effect, right? And exposure to commands, exposure to the environment, exposure to how things operate, because we're going for a bigger competition. So I wasn't anxious whatsoever. I was actually like really, really excited for the person. But yeah, I don't know. Does that answer your question?
It does. I'm always curious from like the coach's point of view. You know?
Yeah.
It's because I know I've seen Andy and I always ask him, and he can tell you the stuff, but he's always like, hopefully you hit it, hopefully you don't. But it's got to find what works, because he used to be all encouraging to me, like, oh yeah, you'll do good and stuff. But me and Louis are the same about you. I need to be told like, you will not fucking miss this. Like, you're shit if you do.
Yeah.
And then he started to change. He then like tells me he's like, you better hit it.
That's what I said to Tiff. I was like, if I'm hurting, do not give me encouragement. I don't want to hear, you can do it. I want to hear, pick it up. just roast me.
Yeah.
Like all I'll think about if someone's like, you can do it, I'll just think, oh, I must look like absolute trash right now. I must look like a mess. Like I'm hurting.
Yeah, that's why I was yelling from the sideline. I was like, "You can do it!" I was like, "You're a fucking cockroach."
I actually heard you say that.
Yeah, you're a cockroach. I mean, you didn't eat all day, but you just somehow win everything. I don't understand.
Bro, I had heaps
This is
of
bad,
lollies.
by the way.
It's like you
I'll
can
never
still
drink
kind
it
of
again.
feel caffeine.
you're
Are you
so-
serious, man?
Yeah. Look, man, it literally looks like, I don't know if you've been to a dirty.
Yeah, I have
Are you
sludge.
gonna read the tea leaves?
Yeah, I will, man.
No, I won't.
You
But
know,
look at that. Look
back
at
in the
that.
day, man, my I don't know about you, right, man?
Delicious, bro.
We that heavy you couldn't lean forward.
Yeah.
Have a go on.
Do you
Doms,
remember?
bro.
Wait, Dennis, you surely would have done this like your parents, man, and they had the old style like coffee cups, and they read the pattern of like what's gonna happen.
Yeah,
Man.
my grandma does every single time I see it.
100%, man. It's
She's like,
awesome.
let me see it. Come on, take whatever. Yeah.
What did she tell you? What did she tell you last? What'd you learn?
Oh man,
Sometimes it's like brutal. It's like something bad's
I
gonna
had my
happen.
tarot cards read in Bali.
No, I've never done that fucking nonsense.
It was.
I don't trust
trash.
that.
Nothing.
You know the stuff. with the,
she
what
said
is
some
it?
awesome stuff. I was like, sick. This is gonna be a good year.
Yeah.
It was probably the shittest year I've had.
What's the thing I don't mess with is the Luigi board, man. I don't.
You mean
Did I just mess that
Ouija?
up?
Little
Luigi.
Mario dude.
Oh god, I had 1 in 2 chance. I was like, what is it? God,
You guys keep going, it's gonna
double
turn to something
check
The
it.
else.
man.
Luigi board.
Double check it.
It's Ouija board.
Yeah,
It's like
Luigi and Mario.
QUI. I don't even know.
It's because of Luigi and Mario, bro. Confused, man. Are you serious?
Oh, it's good.
How'd you pull up next day?
So much worse than I should have. Like as I said, I think I was sick Thursday, Friday, and still like semi-sick on the
Yeah,
day.
I thought you had COVID.
Yeah, I thought I had COVID, and the
You're gonna have
first
to bleep that out as well.
bro, this one's dead. We'll just put the not for children, and then we can't monetize
Oh,
it.
yeah.
It's
done,
fine.
Sweet, cool.
But yeah, like the first workout, yeah, it was hard because like you're going max effort, but like what I do, some double unders, 45 calories of rowing, and 45 wall balls, and I could not walk afterwards. I was like, what the hell has happened to my legs? They were cramping. I was genuinely concerned. I was like, I'm not going to be able to continue. I'm not going to be able to hit the next workout. But I sucked it up, and that it was just not normal. So, but that's okay, you know. Sucked it up and kept going, and Tiff carried me through. So
She's an absolute weapon, man.
yeah, man. I don't like, even after every workout, just her energy of like how fine she was. I'm just like, God damn it, I need that.
Oh, it's insane.
But yeah, it was a good day. It was fun. I enjoyed it. On to the next one.
As I said, yeah, I needed the competition. I hadn't done one in almost 6 months. And
That's it. I think it's like, especially, you know, I guess you get a bit more competition for weightlifting and powerlifting, especially like federation competitions that are worth something in a sense. Whereas like it doesn't really pop up much for CrossFit apart from like the open and then quarterfinals and then after that semifinals, and it's pretty friggin' hard to get anywhere past quarterfinals, especially with like the amount of competition if it's worldwide.
Yeah.
You know, there's a few
That's what
100,000
I love.
people.
I love about competition. But again, it's harder for CrossFit because I always say the same thing to my coach, or he'll say the same thing, you know. We've done everything we needed to at training. You know, that's when it, I guess, kind of counts. It was simply executing on the day what we needed to. And I came in feeling relatively good. Apart from it's kind of weird. The day before, I had a little bit, like, I had some doubts because I hadn't hit anything close to what I was supposed to hit on the day. So I was like 10 kilos away because we've kind of just trained through. It wasn't a competition that I was going to peak for, right? So I was a little worried at the time because the heaviest up until that point I hit in training was like a 130 clean and jerk. And so I'm like, all right, I'm getting worried. But as soon as I picked up that bar, that 60 kilo, I knew I was going to hit it. It's kind of weird. I knew, same as a snatch, as soon as I hit that first rep, I knew what I was going to hit in my head, and it was like not going to deviate from that. It's
Yeah.
kind of weird.
That's the worst, like I guess the worst thing about CrossFit is it's like, especially with the competition, it's like, cool, I just got really lucky in my programming for the last few months, which I you know, the programming I've been doing lately kind of lined up quite well with the last comp, with that comp. But I guess that's kind of a good thing with the new structure where they released the equipment list for the Open now a few months prior, or about a month or two prior. So at least I'm not going to waste my time for my like my guys that are just looking at doing well in the Open that aren't necessarily looking at quarterfinals, sending them on the rower all the time because there's no rower. So we don't really need to focus on that too much.
What's the implement? What's the cardio implement?
There's none. Oh, there's a rope, so there'll be double unders or skipping of some sort.
Yeah. Well, once again, for listeners, if you don't know, Louis is in charge of custom. That is individualized programming for CrossFit. So
we're actually opening up a new stream coming soon. Well, it's open now, but we'll start advertising it soon through Instagram and all that. And that's just I've had some interest of people that want to jump on, but they don't necessarily want to be paying, what it does cost for an individualized program, because it does take a little bit extra time for myself to go through people's videos, give feedback if needed, and give individual accessories and prescriptions for energy system work, stuff like that. But they can jump on and still follow along the program with some exercises I've selected as what I believe will potentially be the best for that cycle, essentially. So it's a little bit cheaper. It's more of that generic type programming, but it's my generic programming. So in my opinion, it's better than the rest.
I like 100%. It's tried and tested.
Yeah. So
I like it.
Battle.
Yeah. Good tea. I'm waiting for you to dip the mic into the teacup.
I don't really know what to do with it, man. The cup's quite fucking big anyway.
You bought that cup, man.
All right, let's dive into some training stuff, because I think people might be here to listen to some training stuff as well.
Potentially.
I mean, we are coaches.
Yeah, it's true. We are. Yeah, training stuff.
I mean, Oaked does exist.
Actually, I need to celebrate a milestone. The timer has just ticked over 31 minutes, and both the cameras are still going.
That's what's up. That's what's
I
up.
just clap.
That's what's up.
Clap. Left.
Woo! All right, sick.
Love that.
Yeah, these are going to be pretty. What's the word? Pass.
Wow, I didn't even know we were playing a game.
I lost my train of thought.
We're playing a game.
Dysfunctional?
Nah, yeah, I said these are. I guess recordings are going to be a bit abstract for the first few that we post.
Yeah,
because
cool.
I have no clue what.
If
I'm
anyone
doing.
is still watching up until this point, I really commend them, and I hope that they reach out to me personally, because I just want to thank them. And I'll give them a free month program or something like that.
Yeah, if you're still watching, and you're a CrossFitter, I'll give you a free month custom.
Done.
There you go.
There we go.
First person to message.
Yeah. You know what I think we should do from now on? I think we should hide little words.
Easter eggs? Is that what they're called?
I don't fucking
Easter eggs, bro. They have them in like video games.
Wait,
and
where
shit.
can I eat them?
No, what you do is
Just
like,
in the plants. You're like,
you have a word throughout the podcast at some point, and you have it wherever you want. Kind of thing.
is the word fuck?
I don't know.
Because we've said
Yeah.
it.
Like that.
No, you just choose the word, you
I
put it,
don't
and you say it sometime in the podcast, and then like you tell people, hey, find this word, tell me where it is, what minute it is. You know what I mean? It's like boom, and you always have it at the very end, of course.
Oh, so like some weird word.
Yeah. And it's like that's their little ticket to
dodecahedron.
Before we get too
and that's
far
their
off
ticket
tangent,
of something. Yeah,
what do we want to talk about training?
that's
What's on your
training,
mind? What's on your mind, Dennis?
the diaphragm.
Oh, here we go.
God. Yeah.
No, what
it was
about
a
the
joke. It was a
diaphragm?
joke. We don't have to go there. It was an absolute joke. Like, we don't have to
HRV?
go there. I don't want to talk about it. I don't know anything to do with training. I mean, like,
Oh, wow.
Oh, man.
That was good.
is that an alarm? Or?
Yeah, there's an alarm.
Yeah,
Who
okay,
you get a
cool.
program for?
No. That's just me to do a video for what I do. I do videos for each day for custom. So that was just my little reminder to film the video for tomorrow
Yeah, right.
to upload and let them know what they've got to do for the day.
What's been on your mind lately for training? I've realised that, I think I spoke to Louis yesterday about, I went into analysis by paralysis on reps and sets, and I just overdid it. But until I reminded myself of that word.
Sorry. You mean you went into paralysis by analysis?
Isn't it analysis by paralysis?
No, because you get paralysed by
Bro, I need-
Analysing?
Hang on, let me drink my tea, bro. I need caffeine.
I think you just got to go back to coffee, bro. The tea's just not cutting it.
Oh, man, it's free. All right, anyway.
So you went into paralysis by analysis over
Yeah.
fucking what?
Reps and sets, bro. Like
Oh, right,
whether
okay.
you fucking should do... Stop swearing.
We're done. We're past that. Don't worry about it.
Well, I don't know why, but
We
it
never-
was like... I went crazy into, whether you need to do sets of 12, sets of 10, sets of 8, plus sets, all this kind of stuff, and I don't know why, and I just went crazy into it. And I just realised, let's go cut it back and just keep it simple.
So what are the biggest considerations of reps and sets?
Well, what are you actually after? Like, what is the stimulus that you're after? And then from there,
Strength.
okay, strength. For me, the way I see strength, if they're a beginner, they're early on, I don't like to test heavy singles and heavy doubles.
Why not?
Because for me, it's a skill to get to that level,
Yeah.
depending on where they are. Again, so generally most people that we get are like that intermediate stage. And if they're a concurrent athlete, they're not training for the sport of powerlifting or weightlifting or CrossFit, then I'm even going to be less likely to use it. I'd preferably use maybe triples, even fives, but do plus sets. to see their progress, right?
It's even like that as a novice though. Like you might, because they're so new to lifting, you probably don't need to exhaust, pushing them to that limit of lifting something super, super heavy to get some type of strength gains. And then it's like not that they're probably going to have huge fatigue because they're not lifting much, but you could probably negate some fatigue by not having them lift as heavy, and they're still going to make progress.
Yeah, so I agree. So literally neuromuscular coordination, right? Or neuromuscular efficiency, whatever the hell you want to call it. With strength, right, you can either go the first part, the neuro, that's your nervous system, so becoming efficient at the movement. So initially when you learn, you've seen those people where they first learn a squat with a barbell and they're just like struggling, and in 2 weeks they've added 10, 20 kilos, right? That's becoming efficient. And then the second part is the muscular part, right? The morphology, the type of training. If you have a bigger muscle, you have the potential to have stronger muscle. And so early on, I'm working on that neuro part, right? Getting efficient before I can then switch over to work on the muscular part and getting them a bigger muscle. And so by having to go back into that thought process of like first principles, right, I've realized, does that matter as much, or should I just be focusing on these, these actual adaptations that I'm after?
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I went through that whole battle in my head, and this is what we do on a daily basis. Like people see it and they just think, you just do it and it's fine, you're confident, but you go through these processes where you question everything.
Yeah,
every now and then.
Because what was your crime prior to that then? Like what kind of sent you into the spiral of fuck? What do I do?
I was getting like so confused of like, when you've got functional hypertrophy reps and all these different terms that they were using, like, you've got to have large amount of repetitions, and then you can still grow if you're doing say 3 to 6 and all that kind of stuff. And I just started to get confused, where I was like just going off categories and kind of jumbling them, and I was like, what is going on here? Is that like, I don't know if you've ever done that, but I've sometimes done that where I have too many tools. I look at plus sets, tempos, I look at percentages, RIR, what am I using kind of thing. And then I end up having too many tools and I confuse myself. Mm-hmm. Whereas I've gone now back to like what I know works. And then if I need those tools in a certain situation, like when they've actually plateaued, then I try that. Whereas I keep it simple at the start so that I can prolong them for a long period of time and make it not difficult. Because I think this is a good point in my mentorship where Daniel was talking about accommodating resistance, right? So for those that don't know, that's using bands and chains where it makes a lift difficult at different parts. That's correct? Mm-hmm. If I haven't got that wrong. And he was like, that's cool. You can use that kind of stuff, right? But a lot of like maybe beginners, intermediate, they use those tools when they haven't even exhausted the stuff that they know that works, right? And a lot of those times, not every gym has chains. Not every gym has bands. Those bands over time have different tension. It's not always going to be controlled variable over time that that was definitely what worked for the program. And so going more of that simple approach of what we know works, that helps too, if that makes sense. What are your thoughts?
I mean, it all makes sense because, again, there's probably no wrong in here. I mean, you're going to achieve an outcome regardless. What have you done for Oaked?
So with Oaked, at the start, the first block, we've kept sets of 8, right? And the reason I've gone the high repetitions...
For what, though? For the main lifts?
So it's the main lifts, so the compound lifts, right? Mm-hmm. Well, of course, we're following a similar pattern of a horizontal push.
Bleep.
Oh, God, I'm on today. I like a horizontal push.
What you're thinking about.
A hinge squat, yeah. Well, I'm not even saying that. But yeah, so I've gone, at the moment, we're going between starting off sets of 8, ends up 2 sets of 6 with a plus set at the end. But that's honestly because I don't know what level they're at. And so exposing them to more repetitions, give them the skill aspect, so practicing that movement, as opposed to if I go sets of 3, 4, maybe 5 might work. And we talked about, I didn't want it to be 5 by 5. So I was like, you know what, I'll go sets of 8, sets of 6, because it's going to expose them, right? You're going to get better at the skill. You're going to learn that movement before later on, as we get more efficient, we can then start to work on getting to those triples.
Who ruined 5 by 5?
I don't know. It just gets used all the time.
I don't think 5 by 5s have been ruined. 5 by 5 just has. It's just applicable in certain situations. And I mean, like, I've also seen a lot of people say that it's probably not good for someone who's been training, who's someone above an intermediate level.
Yeah.
Just because there's a fuck ton of, like, volume accumulation. But I've got a couple of friends who are well above intermediates on my Instagram. I follow them. And they're rolling 5 by 5 right now. I'm just like, fuck. You know what I mean? Like, again, it's like, well...
I always wonder about this question, right? If you could go back when you first started lifting, what would be the first type of cycle you would have started?
150
lifting
milligrams a test. 300. Nah.
Oh, sorry, lifting cycle.
No, I'm
like,
joking.
for your strength.
Look at me. I don't fucking take gear. What would be my first lifting
Looking for
cycle?
a show sponsor, but no. No, I'm joking.
First lifting cycle. Like,
Because, there's 5-3-1s, there's 5s, there's so many different things.
honestly, if I was to go back to start, I'd just remove it all from my play and get a coach. Do it for me, bro. That's
probably the
pretty much
smartest
it.
answer.
Yeah.
But say the coach wasn't available to you and you had to choose something. What would you choose? 'Cause I think that was the initial question.
Yeah.
What would I
No,
choose? There was no coach. If I had no knowledge and had to go off some like existing method, like it would be some type of auto regulation, like APRE or something like that.
I'd
fair
be,
enough.
looking at implementing some
fair
type of AMRAP style, like
Yeah.
Juggernaut style. Again,
Yeah, it
high
gives
repetition
me
start.
gives me plenty of exposure to the movement. We know there's decent stimulus there. It's controlled on a fatigue basis.
I'd definitely exhaust the hell out of it once I got to
Yeah.
a certain level. Because, you can go as simple as, say, let's go 3 sets of 10, right? And you keep that the same and continually lift more and more, right? I'd say 5 kilos over time. And you get to a point where you can't go anymore, right? And then I'd probably go 2 weeks back to what I was lifting, start again, add, until I can't do that anymore. And that'd be like my baseline. Simple as I think.
I just keep it super simple. Start with high reps and just work off RPE. Progress it. Super, super simple. Lower the reps each cycle.
I just knife hand you, Dennis.
Yeah, you actually just nice.
Sorry, man.
What about
What
you?
about you?
But this is the thing, right? There's no one program I would choose. The only program I would choose is a program.
Bro, you can't answer that.
You can't.
No,
I just said I'd get a coach.
That's
Fuck off.
horrible.
Give me a better answer.
No, 'cause I could be like 5-3-1, I could be Bill Starr, I could be like GBT for fucking sake. I could be like whatever Bill Kazmaier did, I don't care. Whatever Arnie did, like Mike Mensa, whatever.
Kai Green walking with giants.
Sure, I could do anything. Like just a program, because what I spent doing for the first 2 or 3 years of training was just doing. I don't know. I can't remember.
Just
but it was a
trying
lot.
multiple different things.
It was a lot.
Yeah.
Like I don't
Program hopping.
I didn't. I don't even think I program hopped. I went in and I worked. I don't know what I did. I mean, I progressed significantly. I can't remember the reps and set schemes that I used, but I didn't use any.
It's interesting though, because
Like-
off that premise, there is plenty of people who have gotten really good results of just rolling into the gym and go, all right, today I'm like probably mainly more like physique guys that are going wrong. Yep, today's back. Fucking buy it, whatever.
Well,
they roll in,
CrossFit, I think-
hit it, send it, and they're still fucking phenoms.
I think CrossFitters are the epitome of that.
Some are, yeah. Some.
Oh, because I don't know. You tell me. You've box programmed, and you've probably got some experience too. Like, do you guys program and periodize what? No, reps
Yeah.
and sets. In
Yeah,
those
not
WODs.
before, not so much, but now I definitely start to look at that. As opposed to reps and sets, I look at more about like time domains.
Yeah.
So I can increase the volume by going from say 20-minute AMRAP to 25-minute AMRAP.
Cool,
Yeah,
but we're still
it's-
seeing like a progression. Like,
Yeah.
When it comes to workouts, I work off a progression, and that progression is either time
Time
domain,
spent, yeah.
intensity, or density within that, and then there's also skill progression within some type
I
of
just-
workout.
so it's
I go
typically,
from
so it's
Cindy
typically,
to Karen to
so it's typically kind of revolved around like an energetic sort of stance of
Oh,
progression.
and like strength progressions are there as well. Like that's the same thing, but it's
Yeah.
obviously not as you're not doing 5 days of strength per week. You can't.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
Well-
All right. No worries, mate. Clearly, you guys program periodized to a more intellectual level, and that's why KSTM exists.
Exactly right.
Perfect.
Sign up.
All right. But in the general sense, in this biosphere that we live in, like CrossFit is typically one of those randomized things, right? But yet, these guys and girls are experiencing like phenomenal physiques and abilities. Yeah,
Look,
you can go in and do absolutely anything
Yeah.
and get something.
yeah.
I think that
Sorry, I was going to be
Yeah.
like back to our thing. Probably one of the biggest things that I've learnt is, and this is definitely through getting coached by Andy and my experience is, I wouldn't vary like the movement so often. So like when I'm going to talk about the main lifts, right? Going from doing a cycle of the back squats to then going to front squats to then switching it up. I'd probably choose the same movement but have slight different variants. So I might have pauses. I might add tempos. Like I wouldn't dramatically change the movement if that makes sense, because I feel like again.
So
you haven't
why wouldn't you go from a block of back squat to a block of front squat?
because I feel like I haven't exhausted my back squat gains, so to speak. If I was to do this right, say for example, depends what rep scheme. Say if I'm doing sets of 5, right, for a back squat, I get to a certain point. Well, as opposed to then going to a front squat, I could then go 3s, or I could then those 5s I could do clusters to kind of add the volume, if that makes sense. I could still progress the movement a lot more as opposed to switching so quickly. Because then by the end of it, in 1 year, you've done every single big movement, right? Which is not a bad thing, but you haven't fully gained the understanding of the skill or being able to perform it or execute at that high level. Because I've seen that through my programming, not through my programming, like my experience with Andy. Like, we've kept the back squat, but we've been able to it hurts so much more.
You could literally go from June to December just back squatting. I get it, but like you'd probably want to fucking neck yourself by December.
Of course.
And your spine is probably more brittle than, I don't know, what's brittle? What's brittle?
My spine.
Yeah.
Brittle.
Yeah. But again, going from a back squat to a safety, right? They're slightly different.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
You don't
necessarily have to change that bigly, because you could literally start like in January. You can start from like a really, really slow tempo and to reducing that tempo over time. And now you're getting rid of the tempo, and now you're adding in pauses. Now you've got long pauses, and you reduce the pauses. And now you're adding in just like a standard, for the last 6 months of the year.
Because it's
just
like
a normal back squat, but you're starting from high reps, and as you're going lower and lower.
100%. Because something we've learned, right, with our programming, right, we start off with 4-week blocks, and then we've now moved on to 5 weeks, even potentially 6 weeks, right?
Yeah.
Because, again, feedback from some of the clients and our experience too. The first week, they're just getting a gauge. They're missing stuff from all the movements. They're just kind of learning how to do it. Second week, they get a bit of a grasp on it. Third week, they're actually able to hit it. And by the fourth week, if you're not even ascending, or some people deload, you haven't really kind of exhausted any of it. And so now for us, prolonging that has been really helpful, because now what I've got in some commentary is week 4 and 5 are a bit of a grind, which is what I generally aim for. A little bit of a grind before you kind of back off, and I might vary something for the next block, depending on, again, what the adaptation, how long have they been in that certain phase for. It depends, Yep. But it's crazy, right? We changed them. I don't know why we chose 4 weeks.
It's, I guess there's no right or wrong answer for that. It's what you decide is going to work, and if you get results, you get results. If you don't, well, you probably need to change something. Yeah. Going back to what you were saying about some people rolling into CrossFit and just being like a phenom at whatever. Most of those people, though, they don't just roll in from doing nothing. Most of those people roll in from having a very decent athletic background of something else. You look at most of the best in the world, they've either come from a gymnastics background, like a high-level gymnastics background, high-level weightlifting background, or a high-level collegiate sport background. So they've already had a huge amount of time in the collegiate systems, following some type of training program that I'd say was probably quite good, being exposed to cleans and squatting and sprinting and I guess longer endurance work. So they come in with quite a good base, so they can sort of hit those random workouts and probably get the adaptation that workout might be targeting. Whereas you get someone off the street and they're supposed to be doing a workout of the day or whatever, and that workout was made to be some type of high-powered, fast, 0 to 3 minute workout, and they blow it out to 20 minutes. It's cool. You probably didn't get much from that apart from a shit ton of fatigue. However, at the same time, if that person's not trying to become better at CrossFit and they're just going to burn some calories and have some fun with some people at the gym, there's nothing wrong with that. But if they're actually trying to get better at the sport, there's probably a better way of going about it.
Mm-hmm. Like signing up to Coast,
100%.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. I get what you mean. I think that can be applied for kind of any barbell sport. Yeah. Right, fair enough. I don't know where I was going to go with that. I was going to ask you
just freaks. They're freaks. Yeah, there are freaks out there, man.
Anyway.
Looks like gods.
We're getting pretty close to, I guess, an hour.
Yeah.
So we listened to RX Radio's...
Fuck, Marry, Kill.
Yeah. RX Radio's new podcast. Fuck, Marry, Kill, bro. What movements? What movement would you fuck? What marry would you kill?
Oh, wow.
That was me now.
All right, analysis by paralysis.
Can we just name that? That's the podcast name.
I just want some horizontal puss.
Yeah. Oh, the reason I said that was my partner was over on the weekend and she's gone back to Brisbane.
So did you guys do it horizontally or vertically?
Horizontally.
Have you ever tried vertically?
Man, I don't have the capacity.
That's what maybe he'll watch this, but that's what Damo recommended, to get a quad pump in the shower if you're a bit shorter.
Oh, it's called a jackhammer.
Believe that.
Shit. But yeah, fuck, marry, kill, exercise selection. Which
Fuck,
ones?
marry, kill.
Yeah.
So is fuck a good thing or a bad thing?
Oh, what do you fucking think?
I don't know. This is hard.
I'm sorry.
well,
if you have sex, is that a good or a bad
Yeah,
thing?
yeah. Are you gonna fuck something you hate?
How did I perform?
Was the speed appropriate? Was the position? It was a joke.
All right, back to the question.
No, I need some time to think because you guys have obviously been thinking
Fucking
about
bullshit. No, I
I
haven't, man. He asked me today, and I was like, "Wait for the podcast."
this. Oh man, I need some more time.
All right, Dennis.
Because I'm thinking about it right now.
You're up.
Louis, you're up.
Dennis is
Back to
up. Let's
Louis.
go.
All right, I'd fuck. Oh my god. I'd fuck a hack squat.
A hack squat?
I'd fuck a hack
Why
squat.
would you fuck a hack squat?
Oh my god.
Those machines are sweaty, bro.
They are sweaty, but like they're also probably the most stimulative exercise ever. And
Yep, fair.
anyway, I'd fuck the back squat. I'd marry the deadlift. And what was the other one? Kill.
Kill. What do you want gone?
This is a hard one.
What do you want?
This is a hard one.
Like gone off the face of the planet.
Clams, like fucking.
Oh, like a banded clam.
Yeah, the one that
Yeah,
heals
yeah, I know exactly. Once you've done a lock clam, you can't go back.
Yeah, clams. Fuck that piss right off, man.
Yeah, fair. Would you?
I would fuck the front squat.
Yep.
Just because I fucking love it. I'm good
You
at
could
it.
you could look at the fuck is like I love this, I'm doing it a couple times, but like the marry is like you're stuck with that. You're stuck with that forever.
The rest of your life.
Yeah.
I'd marry a clean.
A clean?
Again, it's like a very. I'd marry the clean.
Yeah. Yeah.
Love the clean. No, I'll marry the snatch. Take that back. Because the reason I say this is like the snatch is it's a very finesse movement, right?
Yeah.
You know, you've got to be both elegant, strong, but also respectful of that bar. Because, you know, if you disrespect it, it's gone.
Mm.
And then I would kill. It's something that pisses me off so much.
That's probably what the
There's
answer's
so
meant
much
to be.
aggression in there.
Yeah. The camera can't see.
Oh
the
no, I'm
expression
just
we
trying
can.
to think, man. There's something I had on top of my mind. What's something that always gets me going really hard? I'm on fire. I don't know. I've got to think about the kill, man.
There's nothing you hate. There's
There
nothing
is.
you look
There
at
is.
as,
I just
why
got
are
to
you
think
doing
about it. Oh yes, I'll kill
Oh, here
this.
we go.
I'll kill this thing,
Or the
bro.
external
The
rotations,
fucking
right,
dumbbell external rotators. Like, what
Oh.
are you doing?
Yeah, cool.
That's
With a dumbbell.
with a dumbbell.
yeah.
With a
Yeah,
cable, fair enough.
Yeah.
But does everyone hopefully everyone understands that, right?
What about a side-lying dumbbell?
That could work because now you're allowing
So
you're actually following the path.
a standing.
It's a standing
A
one. When you sit in
standing.
the gyms, the bros do it.
With like
I'm
the
fucking
with like
sorry.
the 2
Can you
kilo
tell me
plates.
why you'd want to do external rotation anyway? I'll put up a post.
bro, I can-
Oh, yeah,
thought
you did
fucking
too,
read it,
right.
mate.
Wait,
Well,
we got video now. I can get the best clip and Wood's just going like this.
What's he doing external?
Well, okay, and this is
Standing,
this is
close.
my only recent. Like, I might butcher this, but you know, the more I practice, I guess my understanding of it, right, is from Daniel and what I've learned is like, you know, initial rehab or when you're trying to just you got a motor moron, like someone doesn't got any idea how to move their body, right? You want to train the action of the muscle, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they actually know, right? But as they get better and better, then I'm going to move to training the functionality of the muscle. And the easiest way to explain this is, and it kind of clicked in my head, is a lot of us, right, when we train, say for example, the core or we'll train the action of the core or usually the action of the transverse abdominis, like we'll flex our spine, right? We're just doing the action of it. Does that make sense? Like your abdominals?
You mean yeah?
Give me the correct terminology. Rectus abdominis?
Rectus, yeah. Sorry,
okay,
man. I was
sorry.
like, wait.
I'm not
yeah,
transverse.
I don't know.
Yeah. No. I agree.
If I breathe, yeah.
Yeah.
Fine,
Yeah, calm down, doctor. And I was like, all right, cool. A lot of us are training the action, right? But we always talk about training the function of the core. And that is anti-extension, anti-rotation, and anti-lateral flexion. But I missed any of them. But so I'll explain why, right? And that's like carries, right? Because now you're training the functionality of the core, how the core works with all the other muscles to perform that bigger task, the global task, so to speak. And so that exercise is fantastic if you're trying to train the action, right? You've got someone who's just recovering from some type of rotator cuff injury or they're trying to learn that pattern. And as I'm moving, I'll then start to look at training the function of that area. So now I'm going to, have something that's a bit more overhead, unstable, because now they're going past 90 degrees, whereas that's very safe in that movement. Does that make sense? to everyone?
I get it.
You got to mean.
You got action before
Yeah.
function. But then my question to you for example, the abdominal training, right?
Yes.
You walk.
Yeah.
It's not anti-shit.
Yeah.
It's flexing and extending.
Anti-gravity.
Sure. As you walk, it's laterally flexing.
A lot?
It's extending.
Okay.
But it's performing the actions of the muscle. And so,
we're talking about
I
anti.
So I like the anti-variations if you're loading a barbell on your back.
Oh, okay, I got what you mean.
Got
what you mean, yeah. So say, for example, if you're doing a, what do you call them, devil's wheel, right? You've got the...
Ab wheel.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
You're training now the anti-extension, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So now we're training the functionality of the core, so to speak.
Right.
With carries. We love our carries. Heavy carries,
What I'm
different
saying
stuff.
is, but walking is probably the most functional thing a human can do. But when we're walking, we're experiencing flexion to degrees, laterally and anteriorly.
Yeah.
So,
but you're
so training the action directly in terms of an abdominal sense makes sense as well.
Yeah, well, you got to have both.
I'm just nitpicking now on the anti-abdominal training because
I
it's
like
a
it, man.
peeve of mine because I was under the exact same impression. I was like, anti-everything. I spend all my time with barbell on my back. Anti's got to be... Whoa.
So how does it change your programming? How does it change your programming?
With that though, are you adding in extra fucking abdominal flexion just so you can walk better?
No. Abdominal flexion exists now as a means of variability.
Yeah. Okay. Makes sense.
Because I'm in an off season right now. And so abdominal training almost gets periodized in my mind.
Yeah.
The further away from a competition, it's like, well, it makes sense to have more variability. Let me train some flexion. Let me train some extension. Let me train some lateral flexion.
Yeah.
As I'm getting closer to comp specificity, I'm looking to kind of take those away because I want to become rigid and stiff as fuck.
Yeah.
Let me train the antis, right? So,
But when you've got a barbell on your back, you're still doing some sort of that, are you not?
Like
if you've got a barbell on your back, right?
If you're flexing, you're not going anywhere.
Yeah, exactly.
No, sorry. If you're flexing, you're going to topple over. Like, why are you flexing the barbell on your back?
No, I'm saying, right, if you don't have some type of core control, will you not just fold over? You are anti-extending, are you not?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. So if you spend time with barbells on your back, you want to do the antis.
Yeah.
But if you're not a barbell athlete, it's like, why are we just training the anti?
I get what
why
you mean.
aren't
So
we
you want to,
flexing?
of course, you want to rotate, you want to flex.
You want to flex. Because
100%.
walking is the most functional thing. Like,
exactly.
why aren't we doing that?
No, I agree, man. And that's, again, goes back to now we're going obviously specificity about what exactly the task you're doing or what sport you're doing.
Yeah, because I understood your first pretense where you get action to function. I'm like, that makes every sense.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, well...
It just gives me a progression model. Again, these are all frameworks, right? We always talk about... Frameworks aren't always correct, but they give us a lens to think about movement. And
but
for
when
me,
you talk about the function of the muscle as well, that's still going to play a part of like specificity in regards to what you're training for.
What do you mean?
What do you mean?
Well, if you're training
Do we say that together?
Yeah, with like you're saying, like walking is a function, right?
Sure.
And it's something you have to do.
Yep.
It's going to happen regardless. Like you have to walk to the gym. Right, but you might have a time when you don't necessarily want to train that because you don't want that function. You don't really want to have that as like an awesome functionality because you want to be as stiff as possible.
To caveat, it's like you're not training flexion so you can walk better. You're training flexion so you can move better and feel a little bit less cranky.
But again, like it's you're still going to reduce that or try and reduce that function, so to speak, for your specific task that you want to get better at. If it's going to impede
because I feel like we're defining again. It's how we define function. Because in this instant, it's like the action is literally to bring the origin to the insertion.
Yeah, so we're talking about action because he was like go to action to function. But now we're going from action to action.
Because that's how I kind of I had a better understanding. Function is like the secondary function, as in how it basically talks.
As a global system.
Yeah, as a global, how to communicate surrounding muscles. And so that's helped me tremendously for my progressions, right? From because I've learned, and that's where I've kind of changed my thought process on warm-ups and stuff. Like if you don't require to train the actions such as like those clams, right, this person, then I'm going to go straight to the function. I'm going to do some integrative stuff where I'm now working 100%. On those patterns, right? And so that's helped me tremendously because I was always like, you need to train, you got to do your hip thrusters, you got to do your abductors, all these things. And then I was like, well, if I've got no issues or I don't really need that, I can kind of go straight into a lunge. Why not? Let's go to the integrative approach.
Those areas are going to be working
100%.
regardless.
So again, these are things that you just change your mind on. But it's been cool to learn and stuff. I've never trust me, at uni, I've never heard of the action of the function because you're the original one that brought the idea of the function. Because I think you said something to do with breathing and stuff, and I was like confused, but I kind of still makes sense. I don't know.
Yeah.
No, you're not going to go into that?
No.
Do you want me to go into
that?
I want to. Not too deep.
Not too deep.
Well, I don't know.
We don't have long left.
I don't know how deep you want me to go, but like like you said, function of a muscle or the muscles is how they function on a global kind of spectrum.
Yeah.
And like Jordan Shallow from Breeze Cube kind of just defines it as how you walk and breathe. Like that is the most functional thing a human can do, locomotion, right?
Makes
so
sense.
how things work, operate in that kind of aspect is function.
Yeah, that's cool.
But yeah, like, so my gripe with like the sideline clams is because it's like you're on, some people say that the glute max is working. It's like on EMG readings, there's readings of glute max in a sideline clam in simple femoral like abduction, but it's like, yes, but you're about to squat, and the glute max in the squat is working in extension, not abduction. So it's like if you're trying to activate it, air quotes, you want to activate it in an extension sort of in that plane, right? You don't want to why are you activating abduction? Like, what are you doing? So there's a bit of a misappropriation there.
But it's like...
Same with like external rotators.
Again, we're not bashing this because I used to do that shit.
I'm bashing it because I used to do it.
Exactly.
So I want to bash it.
Yeah, but it's like the question on it. If you're literally about to, like, let's say go back to say a squat, why do you need to go through and activate each single thing that you're potentially going to use when you squat?
Like every individual muscle.
When you can just do a squat or a lunge or something like that.
Again,
like
caveat to that if you've had because it's this is obviously. We say rehab, but rehab is training. It's just it's the end of the spectrum. Yeah, 100%. And so in that instant, like if you have had issues, you can do that kind of stuff. But for a lot of us, we now realise that we don't have those issues.
Yeah, if you want to prime the area.
Oh, Jesus, wake it up.
It's asleep, bro. My glutes are asleep.
Yeah. But the same thing with rotator cuff, and that's why external rotations of any sort, just like I just can't fathom anymore because it's like, the rotator cuff, its action is to externally rotate, but what are you doing that requires external rotation?
Exactly.
Like, what capacity does external rotation exist in?
What movement do you perform that's doing that?
One. One. You know what I mean?
I did not plan that. Oh, shit.
Limited.
What do you mean, bro? I do that all the time.
Limited. But when we look at the function of the rotator cuff, it's to stabilize in an otherwise unstable position.
Exactly.
So if I'm trying to warm up the rotator cuff because I'm about to do something unstable, why not warming it up in this way? So like kettlebell windmills, like corkscrew presses, and
it's like that. It's like that. That post you made, I really liked it, and it was just talking about if you're just doing this to strengthen or fucking hypertrophy your rotor cuff. Like, do you really think your fucking 2.5 kilogram plate? Yeah, you're just doing 10 of these. Yeah. He's gonna do shit. Like, you trying to grow your rotor cuff? Like, what are you going to stand on stage and be like, "Boss, look at this cunt"? Like,
firstly, you won't be able to see it, but secondly, it's like you're never going to be on a cable machine and do an external rotation to strengthen your rotator cuff with the entire stack. That's never going to happen. Nor are you going to sit there.
Well, actually, and you know which other movement we're going to say?
I challenge someone to do the entire stack.
Doing these ones, like with 50 kilo dumbbell, not going to happen. Sorry, Sebastian Areb, it just ain't going to. No dies.
It's like what we talked about. The other movement would kill is the pull-throughs.
Glute pull-throughs. I'm assuming, did you learn something a little bit about them?
I learned it because I thought they were effective. until I saw the Kaz video where he was just literally using the whole weight stack and he was just pulling himself up and all he was using his body weight, and I was like, God, it's all right. You got to learn. You got to learn. You got to learn. Unless you're teaching a hinge, maybe, but so many other ways.
Yeah. Anyway, fuck, marry, kill.
Ooh.
Yeah, mate, we're at 10.
Let us tear you apart a little bit.
I'd marry the overhead squat.
Yeah, okay.
It's fucking sick, bro.
Yeah, okay.
I get to one. I have to jerk.
It's fucking shit because not everyone can do it.
Yeah, it's mine, bro. I'm marrying it. You're not marrying it.
Oh, I thought you said you were fucking it.
No, I'm marrying the overhead squat.
Okay.
I could do that shit forever.
All right.
And I also have to jerk it up there somehow. So
Wooch can do that. Weird. So can I. Anyway.
Can you though?
What are you fucking?
What am I fucking? I could fuck the assault bike. Does that count?
Really?
Am I allowed to fuck the assault bike?
Right, I see you on that assault bike. You do not look like you want to fuck it.
Oh, I hate it. But
oh, you hate it?
No, I'd fuck it.
All right, cool.
I'd fuck with it.
Fair enough. Interesting.
It goes hard, bro. Can I select the assault bike or do an actual exercise?
No, I think it's fine. But if you could choose an exercise, do you have one in mind that you would fuck?
Probably the snatch. I'd fuck the snatch.
Okay.
Bro, it's just everything about it. It's it's power, it's strength, it's technique.
Strength?
What, you don't have to be strong to do a heavy snatch?
You have to be strong at the snatch.
Yeah.
You have to be strong to do it.
Yes, you do, bro.
Well,
Once you start to get over like 110 kilos, 120 kilos, you tell me you have to be strong.
You think Lasher's not strong doing a 220 kilo snatch?
Bro.
Okay, hold on a second. His level of snatching versus his body weight versus his level of squatting and whatever else is obviously at a very, very high degree. That's why he can do 200 kilos. You know, someone who's doing 100 kilos of a snatch, like, is that person strong? No, I've seen plenty of 100 kilos snatchers who are not very strong otherwise.
Name 4 people snatching.
fuck.
I don't reckon you've seen more people snatch for 100 kilos.
You're saying I'm not strong.
Well, honestly, I can't name 4 for you because it's like, firstly, I don't want to like put people like out there like that. Secondly, you're going to be one of them. But anyway,
Bro, show me your 100 kilo snatch.
well, I can't because I don't practice the snatch, but I'm strong as fuck. So you tell me.
You're not strong in the snatch.
I think it'd take you
No,
time to learn.
exactly.
Yeah, that's exactly
So
right.
I think from like a global perspective, is snatch the best option for getting stronger?
I didn't say to get stronger, but it's still, you need some
an
type
expression
of
of
strength to be able to perform a heavy snatch.
This is like the
If I was
handstand,
stuck on a
performing
fucking
handstand.
island, what are you snatching? What
Fucking
requires you to
coconuts.
Why are we on an island? Why are we on an island
Because I
now?
always
What are you squatting on an island?
No, wait. I always think about it this way. You mean like, where am I finding a hack squat on an
Yeah,
island?
bro. What the fuck?
There's going to be a perfect prime hack squat there for me. Because I think of it this way, like when you ask the question, I'm like, okay, cool. I'm like in a dire position where I've got no other option but this one. Okay, cool. I'm stuck in the middle of the fucking Pacific on an island with this exercise, nothing else.
Yeah. What's wrong with the snatch, bro?
I think it'd be
I
cool
get to
because
be
I'd never
powerful.
master it. That's why I
Like,
love it.
Yeah,
I'd be so infatuated.
Right.
Wait, what are you killing?
What am I killing? Oh, it's so hard.
What do you get revved up about?
Give me something decent, man. Seriously. Last two have not been decent. Give me a decent one.
It's his choice, bro. It's decent.
Fuck.
Bro, it's hard.
It is hard.
What am I killing? There's a lot of shit movements.
Oh, give me one. Name one.
Would you kill the
But
burpee?
it's like
Would you kill
what's,
the burpee?
what's the premise that I'm killing it? Am I killing it because I don't like it or because I think it's a shit
It's
exercise?
either poorly executed or you don't see any value in it.
Oh, poorly executed.
Value. Nah, fuck that.
Before
Value.
it used to be, remember? The
See, it's hard
dumbbell style crunch?
because I could say
No cable.
I could say I want to kill the snatch in a certain environment. I want to remove the snatch from
Too much context.
from a CrossFit gym.
Too much
Just get rid of
context.
I want to kill the
Just
deadlift
fucking kill the snatch.
What?
because everyone should be trapped by night.
The barbell deadlift, kill it.
All right,
I want to kill the sumo deadlift. Fuck that, bro. Fuck
Sumo
the sumo deadlift.
Why?
'Cause-
Ask him. No, let me ask him.
I like it. I used to hate it, and then Dennis told me to push the world away. Then I became good at it.
Well, I just hate it. It feels like shit. It jams me up. I don't feel like I get enough out of it, or I can't lift as much. To a conventional deadlift, fucking hurts my fucking hips, hurts my knees.
We can help with that, man. We've got level 3 coaching. Nah, fair. Hey, that's fair. Cool.
And you know, like conventional just makes you look stronger. Let's face it. Someone pulls a heavy conventional compared to a heavy sumo, you're like, it was a sumo though.
Yeah, it doesn't count.
Fair. Well done. We are.
Yeah, we're an
over the
hour in.
mark, and we're-
The camera's lasted, so
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
you might see this on
So money well spent.
YouTube. And
Money well spent. Cool.
My
a lot
tea's running
of
out.
a lot of bleeps.
My tea's now cold, and this tastes like
Sludge. Verdict out of 10,
I'm
mate.
not. It's cold
10.
now. I'm not drinking
Have a
it.
Out of
sip.
10, man. Out of 10, come on.
Have
10
a
is
sip.
like, it's the best thing you've ever tasted.
Bruh.
Don't smell it.
This is health, bro. Anything that doesn't taste great is healthy for you.
Okay, sure.
But you got to give it a mouthful. Like, don't just like let it lather your lip.
Oh, bro. You gone.
I had to prove that I had a mouthful, bro.
It's fine, eh?
It tastes like I fucking just mowed the lawn and stuck it in a pot.
Asparagus
There you go,
water,
bro.
right?
It's spirulina.
There is nothing tasty
What is
about it.
spirulina,
Bro,
bro?
apparently, oh no, there used to be
Do
these.
you even know what that is?
100%. It used to be this massive. It used to be this massive thing with endurance athletes. Turns out it does nothing for you.
Spirulina.
Yeah, just give it to your horses.
I think next. Oh, that's it.
Cows.
Next time I need pickle juice.
Why?
Oh, cramping.
Cramping and pickle juice. Do you know much about it?
Nah. I'll do my research.
We'll
I'll
dive
let
into
you
it
know.
next time.
Done.
Sweet.
Pickle juice, cool.
All right.
But
I like
other than that, keep a lookout for Oaked. we're gonna do some advertising. People forget that we program for people.
True,
you know,
we do. Yeah.
Oaked is coming out. It should be live when this podcast is live.
Yep.
That's all I can say. Is you want to get strong,
depends
get
how long the
fit.
video editing takes me.
Yeah, we're fine.
The audio will be up.
By the way, we're going to do a thing on Instagram. Like, so people should probably, I don't know. I'm going to release it after this podcast, so there's time for people to listen and kind of follow this. But on the story, it's going to be like a little 10 first sign-ups, get the first month for free of oat. So if they want to give it a crack, they get 1 month for free.
Sweet.
100%.
Send it.
Fucking strong.
On that.
Robur out.